Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Report, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Bailey Lipschultz is in our Bloomberg studios here in New York, senior equities reporter, and you've got your eye on some market drivers today. Workday, I guess, is on your radar?
Yeah, JT mentioned it, starting with Workday, ticker WDAY. Right now, shares are up more than 8% this coming on a bit of news, kind of a burst of news. So not only did they have a strong analyst day that drew at least 2 upgrades from sell-side analysts, Elliott Investment Management came out saying they're one of the largest shareholders in the company, really applauding that they've made progress, talking up the advancement and enhancement of the company's operating model and capital allocation framework. Board also authorized the repurchase of up to an additional $4 billion of stock. Analysts basically saying that the forecast that they called out, signaling strong profitability. There is still that elephant in the room, AI, how that impacts sales and subscriptions, which seem to be slowing, but nonetheless, a big move higher for Workday, still down about 8% so far this year.
When I get my car share, I arbitrage. I go open up my Lyft, open up my Uber, and whatever gives me the best price. Since it's the same driver in the same car, usually in most cases, Matt Miller does not do that. He just goes right to Uber.
He does it because of the credit card points for some reason. I think it's lame.
That would be the implication, but I'm not even sure you just made it that far. Boy, they're having a good day today. What's going on?
Yeah, seeing a big move in shares of Lyft, ticker LYFT, after the company's name, up more than 12%. This coming after unveiling plans with Waymo, the Alphabet-owned driverless car technology company, to unveil and offer robotaxi service in Nashville starting next year. Big fan of Nashville. I don't know if you've been. This will start through the Waymo app early next year and ultimately spread to the Lyft app. So the next time you're down listening to some country music, you can hop in a
Nashville is the bachelorette party capital of the world.
Is it really?
Yes. It like surpassing Vegas. I don't know how they do it.
They call it Nash Vegas these days. I was just there for Labor Day.
Okay.
But they call it Nash Vegas.
All right.
But that's sending also shares of Uber, ticker UBER, down more than 5%.
I tell you, the stock for Lyft is up 75% year to date. So maybe the market's saying, okay, maybe this driverless car partnering strategy is a good one.
And this is a company that's still trading now at the highest level since 2022, but really pales in comparison to the return for Uber. And I want to cap off with Nvidia quickly. Stock down almost 3%, one of the big drags in the S&P 500 today. This coming, whether it's a sell the news event or being pointed to the FT reporting that the China's internet regulator has advised companies, including ByteDance and Alibaba, to terminate their testing and orders of the RTX Pro 6000D. So that's one of their chips. So Nvidia down about 2.75% right now, ticker NVDA, one of the big drags in the S&P 500.
And in just a few minutes, we're going to have StubHub CEO Eric Baker. He's going to speak with Bloomberg tech anchors Ed Ludlow and Caroline Hyde. And I would love to get your thoughts, though, Bailey, on StubHub going public today. We're still waiting for it to begin trading. I guess it tried to go public a few times, right? All right, so finally here we are. But the valuation, I think half of what it had thought it might be valued at when it was first thinking about going public.
Yeah, this is a deal that raised $800 million. And we had been hearing from people familiar, even just a few weeks ago, that they thought this would be north of $1 billion and that their valuation could be closer to that $13-14 billion bogey as opposed to about $8.6 billion at that IPO price. But this has been a slog for the company. Obviously, we saw one of the busiest weeks in quite some time last week with Klarna and others going public. But StubHub, when I talk to investors, it's a different beast. And that was a big part of this conversation. And my colleague just putting out right now that they tightly allocated this deal to top investors. You've been trying to position this company and set it up to succeed. But again, where it priced versus where investors might have thought it would price, different dynamics than we saw with some of the hotter IPOs last week and even going back into the summer like a Figma and some others.
So we've had it. I mean, it seems like the last, certainly since in Labor Day, this IPO market's picking up. I know you don't, that's not your remit these days, the IPO market, your broader equities, but how's the calendar look for the remainder of the year? Are we going to continue to be busy for the next month or so?
It's interesting, Paul. So last week was the busiest. I'll call it the busiest based on size. We kind of have some ESPN type stats for that, but busiest week since 2021. We have a pretty busy week this week with StubHub today. Netscope will price tonight and trade tomorrow. That's a cybersecurity company. but it kind of falls off. I was meeting with an advisor this morning who was basically saying it kind of looks like a rocket ship. And then right now we're dealing with that return to gravity. Calendar is at play. But nonetheless, when you are seeing some of these deals printing, it should be interesting to see post-Fed what companies flip and what the calendar stacks up like for October, which should be a pretty big window. I mean, having been in this game for many years, the IPO game, the new issuance game, I got a lot of things in my back. I got markets at or near all-time highs. I've had a bunch of deals that are priced well and traded well. VIX is at 16. VIX is at 16. I mean, if you can't get a deal out today, kids, what are you waiting for? It seems like I'm surprised we haven't seen more, but I've been saying that for a while here. Anyway, the ones that are coming out into the marketplace are trading well. So what that typically does is stoke more demand from the buy side for more stuff. But we have seen kind of a mixed performance, and I do want to call out Gemini Space Station, the Winklevoss twins company. It broke issue today. It's down 9%. So for every, figure, they're a blockchain HELOC company. For every company that's up, 50, 60%, we have a few that either are breaking issue or close to that IPO price. So a bit mixed.
The Stock Movers Report from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.